Hello, my divine kings and queens. I am back to do another video. I hope you guys are doing well. Okay, I hope you guys are starting your November off right. Okay. As we approach the end of 2025, it has been a long road for a lot of people, right? A lot of you were going through different seasons and periods where not only was your faith tested, but a lot of people that you once trusted were being tested around you as well. And in this season, right, as these people did you for dirt, not only is God going to clean you off, but the very same seasons that God delivered you from, you're going to watch your enemies go through the very same seasons. And see, the reason for this is because a lot of people were doing things behind your back that you had no clue. You didn't even know how people truly felt about you and the things that were being uttered out of people's mouths when you weren't around. And you went through a season where your resilience, your power, your strength, you had to exert all of these different things in your life in order to be able to push through what it is that you pushed through. And you still yet had God walking with you and ordering your steps on this path and on this journey. But you were around some people who were overcome with certain things that you could not explain. They were ridden with guilt, overcome by bitterness about their situation, and that leaked into how they felt about you. It leaked into how they treated you, okay? Because you were the type of person that these seasons that you were going through were for lessons. This wasn't, permanent fixings or situations that God was orchestrating you to go through. But see, people around you, and again, I keep telling you, it goes over people's head how you should treat others and do unto others as you yourself will want done unto you. And that goes over people's head because a lot of people that do things in wickedness and evil, and they speak wickedness and evil, and they work wickedness and evil against other people, they don't even know for the latter half of it who you are, what your destiny is, and what protects you. But the other half is they think that they're immune to it, that they can do these things and that they will never ever go through the same seasons and periods and cycles and phases of their life that you went through, right? Or these people were painting illusions and casting illusions around your life and then sitting back and mocking you and joking you for it. And then these people, almost it's like they hated you and were bullying you for what they were unsuccessfully not able to do against your life, right? And a lot of people now are seeing that they weren't able to destroy you. They weren't able to cause you to lose your mind or get you to walk away from what it is that you're supposed to be doing. You are part of the 144,000 chosen ones that God picked, okay? There is no certain criteria or requirement of what it takes to be a chosen one. It's not if you're up, if you're down, if you're rich, if you're broke, if you're ugly, if you're pretty, okay? How many assets do you have? How many houses do you own? How many cars do you drive? I keep telling you, God will take a nobody and turn him into a somebody without asking anybody. And when God had already chose you, okay, and this is what I don't get, a lot of what you've been going through has been resistance. You see what I'm saying? Resistance because people saw what was on you. A lot of the things that happened to you that people did against you, it had nothing to do with you per se. It had to do with what was on you. It was on you that irritated people because they were not in alignment with your soul's journey, with your spirit. You understand what I'm saying? And so when God had already picked you and lined you up, many are called, few are chosen. You were chosen. You were called. You showed up. You did what you had to do and God chose you. Okay? So with that being said, there's nothing that a person can do to taint you, to whatever illusions they was causing and darkness that they wanted to be your life. Okay? It couldn't weigh you down the way that it weighed them down. The burdens, the betrayals, the bullying, okay, the loss, the scarcity tactics, whatever it is, the methods that people were using against you, it couldn't stop you from doing what you're called to do and walking away from it. And see, it has nothing to do about, you know, the blessing. It has everything to do with the promise that you made to God and the promise that God made to you. Okay, that's your salvation. Okay, that's your redemption. That's your protection. It's the promise. And it's the promise, okay, that people were trying to break, but God had already deemed you worthy of keeping. So he kept you in the midst of isolation. He kept you in the midst, okay, of suffering. He kept you in the midst of defeat. He kept you in the midst of this darkness. He kept you in the midst of it all when your enemies wanted the opposite to happen to you. They wanted suffering to be your life, pain to be your life, heartbreak to be your life, loss to be your life. But God deemed you worthy of keeping. And so he kept you because of the promise that cannot be broken, because you are already chosen and built and prepared for this. So it's not even a person who can go out there and copy you, duplicate you, want the worst for you, that will be able to do it the way that you're doing it, because you were chosen for this. You were picked for this. Okay? And a lot of these people don't understand that. You were chosen and built for this. And to distract you, trying to delay you, trying to break you, trying to derail you, to reroute you. They couldn't understand how you were able to withstand all of that. Just confused as to how and what protects you. But I guess they didn't deem you worthy of salvation. They didn't deem you worthy of protection. They didn't deem you worthy or fit to receive the blessings that God had already told you and vetted you for, that you was worthy of receiving. And so I don't know, like I said, when you talk about, you know, there's nothing that the enemy can do, nothing that you can do that will stop what's coming in for you. I mean that, because God's power will always overcome, will always prevail, okay, will always supersede that of what mankind's power is. Mankind's power is tied to the things that are tangible, that the physical eye can see. God's power is tied to the things that you cannot see, okay, the things that you also don't even have control over. You understand what I'm saying? It's only but so far that your money, that your power, that your affluence or influence can reach, you know, and can do. And so when people worked against you, it instantly hit them that they needed to repent for what they had done, because they did not know what they were doing, because they didn't know who you were. They just knew a lot of people was working against you, had betrayed you, okay, didn't like you, but they didn't know who you truly were. And it comes without saying that when you're on this journey, and because of who you are and what's on you, you are going to be hated. You're going to be despised. And so you remember and you recall all the faces that people made. Remember and recall all the things and the jokes that was being spewed out of people's mouths. Remember all the times, if it was dropping your spirit, that people were talking behind your back. Group chats, people going out to laugh at you, people mocking you and joking you to other people, waiting until you leave the room, waiting until you're not around them or in their presence to talk really bad about you. And these are people that you called yourself being friends with, people that you didn't even realize were poisoning you. That's why a lot of people are scared of the fact that you're still alive, because the level of poison that was served to you is not only physical, but it was spiritual, right? You didn't know that you was laying down with the poison. You didn't know that you were creating and parenting with the poison. You didn't know that the poison, you was cohabitating and living with the poison. You didn't know that you were digesting the poison, but it was definitely given to you, okay? And people saw you withstand that. They saw you overcome that. They saw you still standing and alive after that. It scares people, because it's not something that you yourself are coming out and saying of what protects you. People can actually see based upon what they did against you that God is protecting you. And it's almost like people were testing you and testing things on your path to try to see what God would do for you. These are either non-believers, these are believers alike. But if they are believers, they didn't believe that God was protecting you. Maybe some thought what you was doing was blaspheme. But again, that's why I tell you, you got to stop thinking that you are in a position to judge because of what you're doing that is surface level. The church don't save you. Getting baptized in the water don't save you. The promise is what saves you. You understand what I'm saying? You can run your own bath water and baptize yourself and your children if you want to. It's not the water that is going to save you and make you whole. It's the promise that you make prior to you being dipped under that water is what's going to make you whole after you're submerged. And then when you come up out of that water, people didn't know you. They didn't get the chance to know you. They were taking chances and gambling, you understand what I'm saying, their life on other people of what these people was telling them. And also what power and money these people had and how these were the people that was in position going against you. So they sold out because they didn't believe in God. But God deems you worthy of what? Keeping you. And that's what he did. He kept you through it all. Even in the midst of these people serving you poison. And now we're going back down and circling back around to the fact that people really better hope and pray that they are able to withstand the very things that you had to go through. That either they was orchestrating for you to go through or things that you just had to go through. You was just going through a season of this. Every time you go through something, it's a lesson. It's some of it, you cannot hide what you're going through. But you know that it doesn't matter how high you go or how low you go, okay? The fall had already happened, so pride was out of the way. There was no reason for people to kick you when you was already down, right? There is no reason for people to play up in your face, to tell your information and your business behind your back, either to make themselves be looked as better than you. And I don't know why somebody would go that far to be looked as or perceived as being better than you. But a lot of people didn't appreciate the things that you had done and who you was on this path. And I think it's more sinister than you want to know. A lot of people, when you did take that fall, they used that as an opportune time to take advantage of you, but also to try to keep you down so that they can rise above you. Because these are people who never deemed themselves as being on your level. And these are the things that you didn't know. These are the things that sometimes you have to go through it, which is a word that I came across the other day about when you chase the bag instead of chasing the blessing and putting God first, God will have you lose everything and then put you back in a position to rebuild it. But you're going to have to put in more work than what you did initially because you didn't put him first. And so God can sometimes drag out lessons and have these lessons go on for longer than what you expected, when what you expected, okay, probably, you probably would have had enough or been able to withstand if you thought that you was only going to go through this for a year or 2 years. But I keep telling you, when you go through things, sometimes God can stretch the thing out to go for 5 years, 10 years. And now you have the bag, but slowly but surely, because the bag came with holes in it, because of how you obtained it and how you didn't put God first. Now you're thinking, okay, what you expected to last for 2 years has been dragged out for 10 years. And now when you look up, all your money is gone. And now as you're rebuilding and you're in the rebuilding phase, God is making it harder for you to put those pieces of your life back together because you are learning a lesson on who to put first, to not chase the bag, right? But to chase the blessing and to keep God first in everything that you do. The blessing is tied to the promise. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to keep your promise to God. So a lot of people didn't know why you was going through what you was going through and why it was so bad for you and why they had to see you look like that. But I keep telling you, in the midst of them seeing that, they should have been a little bit more sympathetic, okay, and gentle with the situation. And people weren't doing that. They were coming around you, trying to gauge your situation, to see how you were living, to see how you was looking, promise you things, promising that they would pray for you, promising that they would leave you certain books that was going to give you inspiration, promising you to take you out to certain places with them, promising you this, promising you the world, and gave you the bare minimum because they wanted to see you there. And then they wanted to use your situation and take advantage of that to go lie about their situation so that they would be perceived as being better than you. You never understood how people was in secret competition until you went through what you went through. You never understood how many people were envious and jealous of you until you went through what you went through, because now that you don't have the money, now that you don't have the status, now that you don't have certain things, okay, that you once had before, now these people are being tested. Like I said earlier, not only were you being tested, these people were being tested, but you weren't being punished. God was trying to open up your eyes, because now he's telling you, look, when you get it back this time, you better know what to do with it. Because now more than ever, your decisions are going to count, okay, towards the life that you have in the latter part and end of your life, okay? Maybe you went through 20 years of this. So what, 20 more years, 30 more years, you wanted to be peaceful and prosperous. So your decisions are going to amount to something now. So you can't just be out here giving out frivolously to people, because you realize now money is not going to buy you a true friend. Money is not going to buy you a true and everlasting, okay, partnership with anyone. You have to let God use you. You have to be able to cut off and back away and clean house and ship, so that you can rebuild the right way, okay, and start off things on the right foot and putting God first before everything that you do. And see, that's the season that you went through and what you learned from it. You get me what I'm saying? These people who mocked you, joked you, made these faces behind your back, caused you to be put in certain situations where people was perceiving you to be weird, dirty, deranged, okay, crazy, senile, whatever these labels that people were placing on you, okay? God still yet was keeping you because of the promise. The promise that these people could not break, they could not taint, okay? They cannot destroy. It's the promise, because you are part of the 144,000 chosen ones. He didn't need to ask any one of these people if you were worthy of being kept, if you was worthy of being blessed. Because leave it up to these people because of their spirit and how what's on them does not match with what's on you. They would have always wanted you to suffer, always wanted you to be without, always wanted you to be at a loss, okay? Because these people are crabs at the bottom of the barrel. Who the main reason why a lot of people went after you is because they wanted you to feel just like them. They wanted you to be just like them or worse than them. A lot of these people were envious and jealous of what was on you. But just because they delay you, just because they try to destroy you, just because they throw dirt on your name and they went scavenging for this dirt to throw dirt on your face and on your name, you understand what I'm saying? It does not mean that what's on you is going to go and be on them. Because look at what they're willing to do. Look at how far they're willing to go. Because they don't like you. Because they think that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. And now they call themselves believers and women and men of God. But they're stooping on to the other side. Okay? And you know what the other side is? To try to go up against you because they don't believe that you should be doing what you're doing. You're not a believer and you're not a woman and a man of God. And a lot of people need to stop playing with God. They need to stop playing with the symbolic meaning of what being baptized means. You understand what I'm saying? You can get baptized one time and never ever get baptized a day again in your life because you understood it was symbolic. You know what you have to do to get regrounded, to ground yourself and structure yourself and your life to where you want it to go. You don't owe anybody any kind of explanation onto the decisions and the choices that you made. The only person that you owe these explanations to is God, because he is the keeper of his promises. He is also the keeper of your life and sustainability and your kids and your future. With him, there's a promise. I don't know about these people. And I don't know what they was thinking, doing what they did to you and stooping down to those levels just because they didn't like you, just because other people was working against you, and just because they were feeling however it is that they was feeling and thought that this was the way to go and doing this towards you, to humiliate you, to embarrass you, to take you down to nothing so that it could stand back wherever they was at and laugh at you. And then on top of that, after causing destruction in your life, right? They threw dirt on your name, all so that they wouldn't have to take accountability for the demon and the devil that they was in your life. Everybody, these people, they keep up and they live for illusion. So they would never be a truth teller. They would never be a truth seeker. It's all as a ploy, as a game, as a gimmick to get whatever it is that they want out of life or out of people. So if they have to lie to people, if they have to throw these people down under the bus after they use them, after they spit them up and chew them out and throw them away, that's exactly what they would do, because they are They're empty souls. They're soulless. See, God redeems you in so many ways and more than one. It's not even funny. I keep telling you, you being alive, it scares these people because you being alive, okay, is tied to the truth that people was trying not to see. They didn't want to see or believe that you was protected. They wanted to truly believe that you was crazy, that you were deranged, you was out of your mind. You didn't know what you was saying. And through these little tests that they was doing, calling themselves being mad scientists, trying to test things in your life, test you, block you, delay you, trying to see if God pulls you through, how he pulls you through, how you walk through. Now they about to be going through the very same seasons that they wanted for you. The very same seasons that God delivered you from. You are learning things in your life. These are growing pains. You're learning things about people that were not your friends, okay? You're learning things about people that were supposed to protect you and supposed to support you better than what they did. And you're realizing that you can't put all your trust in man, okay? It may be something that's hurtful. It may be something that you possibly will take time for you to get over, because what you went through was very traumatic. And people knew that and didn't care. It's what's in here that makes them not care about you. Because if you suffer, then you can't get to the promise that God has for you. It's very sick and twisted in people's way of thinking that you have to wake up and get privy to people whose souls are not aligned to your journey. You get what I'm saying? People who knew that you suffered, people who knew you was done wrong, people who knew you was battered and broken and bruised. And for whatever the reason, they looked at you indifferent, they treated you indifferent, they spoke on you very foully, they put dirt on your name, okay? They lit up the flame, threw it at you, wanted you to burn, wanted you to just feel it. But God deemed you worthy of keeping, and he kept you. Because you have not done nothing. And I tell you something, if God kept you through all of that and he sit high and look low, I would not care what these people said about you and what lies they went around and spewed and spread it to try to save their own life, name, whatever, okay? If God deemed you worthy of keeping, clearly you are somebody who don't go out here and be evil to other people. It's crazy the amount of lies that people want to tell on you and you the one who keep to yourself. Hell, for a lot of y'all celibate. You understand what I'm saying? For a lot of you don't want people around you. You don't deal with people. You cool on that because of what you went through. And I just, you can't, we can't be in the season anymore where we just put the blame on the people who tell the lies. We got to also look at these people who believe these sick and twisted lies that are being spewed out of people's mouths against you. What you realizing is, it had nothing to do with if there was lies, if there was ever anything good that was said about you. Any little bad thing that somebody could come up with and tell, people will want to run to it and gravitate towards it and believe it, all because of their disliking and disdain for you and your light that's around you. I keep telling you that. A lot of it is not you. You can walk somewhere and have your mouth shut. It'll be somebody in the back hating you, already looking at you stupid, not wanting to give you an opportunity, not wanting to go ahead and give you the chance to speak. But I keep telling you, the very same pain and burdens and betrayal and evil that they tried to bury you with is about to be the very same thing that God bless you with. You understand what I'm saying? The very same thing that people tried to bury you in is about to be the very same reason why God bless you. Okay? The very same things that they wanted to bury you in. They wanted to bury you in deceit, bury you in betrayal, bury you in hurt. It's crazy the things I keep telling the people lied and said about you. But it's about to be the very same thing that God uses to bless you. It's about to be the very same thing that God used to bless you and to magnify these blessings when they re-enter into your life. You've already paid your dues. You paid them back then before you went through what you went through. But again, God would not bring you this far in order to leave you. A lot of y'all had to take accountability for what you've done. God ain't going to stop things and people from coming to you. He will drop things in your spirit. It's up to you to listen. It's up to you to take heed. It's up to you to make the right decisions. And now, as he's re-entering you into a new phase, okay, and cycle of your life, you better make the right decisions. I keep telling you, it's up to you. It's up to you what you do. These people are going to always... If it's not the same people who came for you in the previous cycle, it's going to be somebody different. It's going to be somebody different. It's going to be somebody different. It's going to be somebody different because these people have already seen the promise. Keep telling you, nobody will go this hard. Nobody will go this hard after you. A breakup is a breakup. You move on. You walk away. You let it go. People fall out every day. Okay, and they don't always get closure as to why people back up from them and start talking to them. Once it happens, you get on with your life, you move forward. You don't talk bad about that person. You don't sit up here and spread that person's business. You don't try to sit up here and come in between that person and their connections and their future and their blessings. You got a lot of people who be on that child play, and that's what you're realizing. You know, you got to really vet people on, because you won't be able to see it from the outside. You won't be able to truly see when people are under pressure. Are they going to buckle? Okay, when people are being manipulated, are they going to continue? Are they going to stand on what's just and what's right? Or, oh, so that I don't go through what you're going through, I'm going to just buckle and I'm going to just go over here and I'm going to be with the other people who talk about you and who laugh at you and who tell jokes on you and who's attacking you. I keep telling you, whether it's 2 people, 5 people, 6 people, the fact that you are alive after everything that they did to you, now it's sinking in. Oh, this person was lying when they said that God was protecting them. If God is protecting them and kept them alive through the poison we fed them, kept them alive and kept them talking and kept them moving forward through everything that we did to try to have them break under pressure, what's going to happen to us? What's going to happen to us for everything that we wanted for this person that we didn't know that God was using and we didn't know that God was protecting? But after we did what we did to them, and I keep telling you, these people took you through there. If they was trying to have you blocked off for a season, you were blocked off for a season. And everything that was meant to come into you didn't come into you. And you kept trying to ask God and go back and ask, what was he doing for your life? Everything what you was going through was for a lesson. And it had to be hard because you didn't listen when he told you that certain people were not for you. You didn't walk away when he told you to walk away. You didn't clean house and clean ship when he told you to clean house and clean ship. So now when you go through different categories of people who was once on you, once praising you, once admiring you, once willing to lay down their life for you, and now you go through something, now you're seeing how quick people pull back. How when your life is in their hands, okay, where you sleep at is in their hands. If you eat today or if you don't eat today is in their hands. You see how people treat you, and they treat you like that because it's what they gain off of having control over someone who they was already envious of. And now they see you take a great fall, and instead of being sympathetic, I don't know who I'm talking to, instead of being sympathetic, instead of helping you, instead of using it as a time to help you, they use it as a time to take advantage and to stomp on you and then to have control over your life. They wanted power, control, and dominion. You have to realize how powerful you are and that you're not meant to share your energy with everybody. You ain't even meant to be around and frequenting certain places with the kind of energy that you hold. Your kind of energy people will kill for. I keep telling you, they will go the distance, they will go the mile, okay, to have what you have, to be who you are, okay, to possess what you possess. And so when you realize that, you realize why you went through what you went through, okay? You realize, okay, that people were willing to see you in a vegetative and defeated state in order to make themselves feel good about themselves, okay? Because of what you're meant to have, because of what you're meant to step into, because of who you are. And when you finally wake up and you realize that, and you've gone through the fire, okay, you've been through the mud, okay, you walk through all these periods and seasons and cycles and phases of your life, unscathed, but still intact, okay? Broken, but still blessed, okay? Halted, but healed. You know, it's people know they can't take it from you. If God chose you, they can't take it from you. When he chose you and he called you and you stepped up to the plate, okay, and you knew everything of what this journey entailed, okay, people can't block off the promise from you when you've done everything of what you needed to do to be obedient to your calling and to your path. All of what these people have been doing, and they're paying for it. I keep telling you, they're finna pay for it. And it ain't been, it's not going to be funny. These same group chats that they had, using friends of yours, family members of yours, anybody of whom they could use to watch you, to report back to them, okay, after they was doing these heinous and acts against you, okay, committing all these different crimes against you, saying whatever it is they were saying against you, okay, wanting whatever it is that they wanted against your life. Only you know what you went through. Only you know if certain weird things that was happening around you and your energy and your life and your home, you know who was doing it. You know who was orchestrating it. And outside of that, you know that a part of what you was going through was God trying to teach you a lesson as well. Okay, and I keep telling you, sometimes he'll stretch out that lesson until he fully feels like you've learned what you needed to learn. And I keep telling you, you ain't gonna understand why he do you like that. But see, a lot of y'all didn't understand when he told you cut people off and be unapologetic about it. Because see, I shouldn't have to show you everything that's being said behind your back in order for you to realize there's something wrong with this person. Because if you had to hear half of what this person was saying out their mouth, you wouldn't understand it. Half of y'all want to kill these people. Because they were sitting up here playing in your face and you were sitting up here helping them when nobody else would. Being their friend when other people was being fake, and they kept coming back to you trying to get advice off of you, but then not wanting to heed to the advice. And then going back and being around people who's not meant for them, but then going around these people and talking mess about you. I keep telling you, ain't gonna understand how people move. They move very weird. But see, a lot of y'all had to realize that. And a lot of y'all had to sit up here and separate yourself and be willing to walk this path alone. So sometimes if he got to drag out a lesson, an unbearable lesson, a lesson that you want to end today, you got bills that need to be paid. You got kids you trying to set things up for. He don't care about none of that. He needs to know, because see, the attacks are not going to stop. The people who come up against you are not going to stop. But what can stop is you making these frivolous decisions to pick up these people and these Johnny Come-by-latelys who ain't meant for you. But they will play a good part and play a good role as long as they can benefit from being around you. And don't nobody need to benefit in this season, in this phase of what God is trying to do for you and where he's trying to take you. Nobody needs to benefit from it but you. And now a lot of these people who sat up here and wanted these things for you, because you made it through. You made it through something that a lot of people would not make it through. Okay? You made it through something that a lot of people would have been walked away and given up. I don't think you understand. Maybe God is pushing you to tell your story and to be detailed about it. How the faces people made, boy, looking at you like disgusted. And everybody goes through seasons of their life. Sometimes we can't hide the seasons that we're going through. We may not understand why we're going through it, but a lot of these people, you know, the enemy always try to humble those of whom God chooses. And then when you go through certain seasons, he wants you to feel belittled. He wants you to feel weighed down. Okay? Because he wants you to make you feel like you are nothing being on this path because God chose you. You understand what I'm saying? So when you hear a lot of things of what I would hear, oh, this must be a humbling experience for you. Yeah, because you need to come down off your high horse. You can't humble a humble giant. And what I mean by that is there was nothing that was arrogant or egotistical about you. But when people don't want to see you up, they will shoot you down. And then when you get down, they will kick you when you already down. And then they will glorify in that and come around and be like, well, you needed to be humbled. And they took it upon themselves to try to humble somebody who was already humble, all because they didn't want to see the promise that God had for you. They didn't want to see you receive it. They didn't want to see you step into it. They didn't want to see it manifest and unfold in your life. I keep telling you, sometimes you have to go through things, you ain't going to understand it. Some of y'all ain't going to want to believe me because you're like, well, do you take your own advice? Let me tell you something. A lot of times God dropped things in our spirit, but a lot of times we choose not to be obedient because what I just mentioned, we didn't want to clean house and clean ship when he was orchestrating for us to do it. And so when he has to take us down to nothing and make it harder for us to rebuild it, there's a lesson that you learn out of that. A lesson that you will not want to repeat when you come up out of it. And that's what I'm telling you. That's the phase that you're in right now. Not wanting to repeat the lessons, the hard lessons that you had to go through that God delivered you from. But see, now the very same people who wanted this for you, they're about to be going through the very same seasons that God delivered you from. Not because he's being petty, not because he's being spiteful, not even because you prayed on these people's downfall, you prayed for revenge. You know, so a lot of times when you wash your hands clean of something, God is keeping you restricted from retaliating, right? He's keeping you restricted from retaliating because he said, vengeance is mine, so saith the Lord. I can do more than what you would ever be able to do. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people look down on you because you didn't have what they had. And they thought that made the world go around. To have power, to have affluence, to have positions, to have money, to have assets. And they thought that you would never be able to beat them in this thing that we call a rat race, that we call life, because you didn't have it. But baby, you had God. Do you hear me what I'm saying? A God that now they see, a God that you serve in spirit and in truth, through sickness and in health. You okay? Through rich or for poor. There's nothing that they can get to get you to turn away from speaking his name, speaking the glories and the victories that he is manifesting and unfolding in your life. Do you understand what I'm saying? But see, now these people are going to learn a valuable lesson because it's going to be things that these people going to need that money can't buy. It's going to be things that these people need that they're not going to be in the good health to execute. All because of what they wanted for somebody who didn't go after them. You didn't go after these people when these people decided to target you and come after you. These people who decided to come after you and target you and attack you did it for frivolous reasons. Because you walked away, because you didn't want to talk to them no more. After they abused you, after they couldn't appreciate you, after they couldn't be real to you. I'm confused. I don't understand. Explain this to me like I'm a 4-year-old, because it seemed like you took the action that you were supposed to take. That's what it seemed like to me. You were supposed to walk away. Because they didn't have no footing in your life acting like that. Not acting like that. But see, people, I keep telling you, they'll hate you for the things that they're doing against you. All because they was unsuccessful at doing it. They shouldn't have tried doing it from the beginning. From the get-go. So now, whatever it is that has crashed and burned up in your life, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, God is creating you new, and he's bringing in new blessings for you. And I'm telling you, you better make the right decisions. All these people, whatever it is that they're doing, let them keep doing it, because ain't nothing going to be able to stop you from doing what it is that you're doing on this path. And they knew that. Everything of what they did was trying to discourage you and distract you, and they couldn't even do that right. Because they underestimated. And I keep telling you, I truly believe this. A lot of people look at people who are to themselves, and they think that they're somebody to play with. It's a reason. And all my life, I keep telling you, the ones who knew how to do damage, who would kill, if somebody didn't understand what no means, what leave me alone means, you understand what I'm saying? A lot of these people who were like this were people who kept to themselves because they had something to lose. They didn't go around trying to showboat and try to make it seem like they're somebody that they not. When the time permitted itself for them to show who they really are, it was bad. And a lot of people didn't expect it out of that person because they was quiet. They was to themselves. They was reserved. I keep telling you, I don't know how these people perceived you. I don't know what the hell these people were saying. But it's a mess that should have never been said. And it makes these people, a lot of people should be looking at these people's mental, because if you're saying things on a person that you know is a lie, why are you saying things out your mouth that you know is a lie towards another person who was not worrying about you, not bothering you, not looking your way? But you got this person's name up in your mouth when this person's not even around to defend their name. You doing things against this person's life and their forward progression and movement, and this person is not even your enemy. Okay? This person has no ties whatsoever to what you receive and what you don't receive in your life. I keep telling you, a lot of the seasons that these people finna go through, it's because they just did things because they thought that they could do it, and they wanted to bully you for whatever the hell the reason, for their insecurities, for their jealousy, and for their envy. And they realizing just because you can don't mean that you should. Okay? Because now a lot of people finna lose it all for coming against you. Trying to find your friends. Trying to sit up here and work this stuff behind your back. Everybody thought it was cool. That was a good look to do that towards somebody. It says a lot about your spirit. It says a lot about your character and your demeanor. I don't care what you think you're getting away with and how many friends you think you're gaining from doing what you're doing, and what money you think it is you're earning from doing what you're doing. Life got a funny way of playing out for people who think that they're going to be spiteful and wicked and evil and condescending, okay, and sneaky towards another individual who's been doing nothing but being real and minding their business and sticking to themselves and drinking their water and reading their books, okay? People just wanted to get in your way for whatever the hell the reason. And I keep telling you, everything of what they did against you, they finna go through the very same seasons that God delivered you from. After talking down on you when you was going through what you was going through. Mocking and joking you when you was going through what you was going through. Not wanting to validate whatever it is that you were saying. Okay? A lot of people finna be going through the very same seasons that God delivered you from. So, and that's why Mary had a little lamb feasts white snow. Play with it, don't play with me. I'm starting that 305 Kingway project. You understand what I'm saying? If any of these messages resonate with you, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to join the JC gang. Reach one, teach one. We ride together. We're going to slide together. JC gang for life. Okay? If you don't do nothing else in life, go out being a real one. Even if it costs you friends. Even if it costs you money. Because I tell you something. Coming across a real individual, bro, I'm telling you, people will bring flowers on your deathbed. Make sure that your retirement go to your kids and not take it for themselves and their kids. I can't stress this enough. Let me calm myself down. Because people, it just goes over their head. It goes over their head because they be chasing the wrong damn thing. They be chasing a friend, chasing a look, chasing an image. I keep telling you, instead of chasing salvation for their soul, they chasing the wrong thing. Everything but the right thing. And then want to joke and target other people who out here trying to get it the right way. I keep telling you, boy, when you come across a real one, it's hard to come across people like that. Don't sell that person out for dick. Don't sell that person out for pussy. Don't sell that person out for no person who you think is a friend. Because when you turn around, you realize that person you sold that person out to ain't a friend. Huh? It wasn't the relationship that you thought it would be. Now you done lost a real one who don't want to deal with you no more. Because one thing about real people, let me tell you something. Don't try to pull that God card when a person know they've been nothing but real to you and you serve them evil. You serve them malice. You serve them destruction. One thing about a real one, we so real. And we know that we didn't deserve what you did. When you do it to us, you ain't have no reason to do it. You can just go ahead and count it all joy, baby. You ain't never got to worry about us again. I promise you that. And that's sometimes why people do the things that they do. Because they know what you stand on. And what you stand on, you're not finna break, bend, fold for no damn body. They shouldn't have done what they did. They should have thought twice when they had the chance. People always want to think when they lose the chance rather than when they have the chance. And it don't work like that. You could have died. Could have lost your kids. You could have lost more than what it is that you was able to obtain. But God kept you. And now that God has kept you so much so to the point where you are standing wherever you at, you may not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. So the mere fact that you clicked on this video, you listened to this message, I know that you are healed. I know that you've elevated from what should have destroyed you. I know that God kept you from what should have had you dead. God got a funny way of working things. That's why he tells you, mankind power will never be able to supersede that of my power. God has already cleaned you off and vindicated you. He delivered you from a season, okay, where the enemy was trying to cripple you, destroy you, and kill you.